Welcome to Headphone Suggested, hosted by me, Brendan Dudgeon, otherwise known as just a pile of dirt. This week on the podcast, Haylee has returned, and we don't talk about the Grinch at all this time. In fact, for this 7th episode of this podcast, we discuss siblings, those people that you've been stuck with your entire life and you can't seem to get rid of, and they always want to borrow $20. Weird. Yeah, so we spend a solid hour talking about siblings, so please enjoy. How you doing? Is it done? All in your body?
How about?
Just one dangle. Get that nice and close. Hello.
Hello.
Hello. This chair is broken. Every chair, it's like hurting my self-confidence because
Oh no.
every time I sit in a chair, it breaks. And it's nothing to do with me. It's just terrible chairs.
That's so bad. I feel so bad.
Yeah, it's whatever. Un silla. That's chair in Spanish. Silla. Hi.
Hi.
Haylee. You're bake.
I'm baked.
I'm going to blacklist the topic for us.
Okay.
Rather than what the topic is, I'm going to tell you what the topic isn't. The Grinch.
Shoot.
If it works in the conversation, it's fine. We're just not cycling
I will
back.
do my best.
Because I realized that 80% of that podcast last time was the Grinch.
Was it really?
It was a lot of the Grinch.
Apologies.
It's not a bad thing so much as it is just I didn't quite realize how much of it was the Grinch.
Right.
And it wasn't all you. I brought it back as well just because I knew you'd enjoy. Episode 7. Oh wait, I have a well, let's banter.
I'm really happy that you spell my name right.
Yeah, you got it.
Never happens. It's always wrong.
My dad always taught me when you work with someone or you get to know someone, you learn all their names. So it's like if you get a job in an office, you learn everyone's name from the CEO to the janitor because that's respect.
Yes.
You gotta, yeah.
You gotta do it.
It's courtesy.
Yeah.
Have you ever worked in an office?
No.
That's like my worst nightmare. Unless it's literally The Office, starring Michael Cera? Steve Carell.
I was like, oh no.
Yeah. Because it's just like wearing a suit and tie every day in a cubicle that you're not allowed to decorate.
No.
I hate it. I hate it. I'd rather be like a criminal. Jewel thief.
It's exciting.
I feel like that's such a glamorous form of crime that not that many people are into anymore. Everyone's just a pot dealer. Steal a diamond, for God's sake.
Yeah.
Like, come on,
Go big
Pink
or go
Panther.
home. Pink Panther.
You know what's great about the Pink Panther? They made that entire film series starring Steve Martin that had nothing to do with the base entertainment, which was a cartoon of a thief panther who was pink, who stole stuff, never stole jewels or a diamond.
Nope. They just
but in the
went
film
with
starring Steve Martin and Beyonce, Beyonce was in that movie.
That.
Yeah. Beyonce like makes out with Steve Martin at one point. And she's very funny in it. She was also in Beyonce was in
Austin Powers.
Austin Powers.
I knew that one.
What, like, when you think Beyonce, you don't exactly think Steve Martin, Pink Panther, and Michael Myers.
Yeah.
Mike Myers. Austin Powers.
Yeah, I remember that one. That was with Goldmember.
Yeah.
That was nasty.
Gold.
Goldmember, which was again Mike Myers.
Yeah, Mike Myers plays 50% of the characters in the movies that he's in.
Plays
Shrek. Not an Austin Powers film, but he's Shrek.
I love that guy.
He plays Dr. Evil. Goldmember. I think that's it. Nathan Lane was in those movies. He plays the dude that Beyonce talks through in that one scene.
Yep.
Nathan Lane.
Yep.
Also in a hit children's animated program as Timon. Timon. What do you want me to do? Dress and drag and dance a hula? Let's consult the list for topics.
Okay.
I have 100 options. Let's do siblings.
Okay.
You want to?
Sure.
We don't have to do names. We can just talk stories.
I love my siblings.
You have 2?
Yes, I have an older brother and a younger sister.
And I have an older sister.
I am that middle child.
Are we the favorite?
Yeah, I think so. Honestly.
Must be nice. I'm half the favorite. I'm my mom's preferred. Just like if she had to drive cross country, she'd rather do it with me.
Right.
But my dad picks a favorite in specifics as to what the issue is. Mm-hmm. Just child overall, it's my sister. But again, like if he had to do a road trip with one or the other, he'd pick me. He knows my sister is the favorite, but my dad also realizes that she's a handful.
Yeah.
And that like you gotta talk to her the right way or else she'll kill you. Rude. What do you have a worst moment with either of your siblings that you care to share? Or just one that sticks out? A bad moment?
A bad moment. I remember my brother, he hated me when we were little. And I don't exactly know why, because I did nothing with him. I was like, you are you, I am me, I'll be in my room, you're fine.
Here.
And he hated me. He'd like come after me.
Wow.
He always had the Nerf guns and all the dart guns and whatever. He pinned me down and shot a dart in my mouth.
Oh.
He forced my mouth open and shot me.
Oh my god.
So then we would always wrestle. So then
Sure.
I managed one time to put him into like one of those weird scissor locks. Mm-hmm. And he got so mad at me, pulled my hair, and so I wrapped around him and bit him in the back. So.
I beat my sister up with a water bottle once. She moved my knitting. And I told her, hey, if you need me to move this, please ask me to, because I don't want it to get tangled. And she said, I can do whatever I want. She had just turned 18.
Oh.
So she said, I can do whatever I want. So I took my Propel bottle, my salt water, my Propel bottle, and I just beat her up. I just hit her. I think we've grown from that.
I also ran over my brother with one of those Barbie Jeeps. Full on.
You seen that video?
Yes.
Of that other kid that does that?
It is just like that, except he's bigger. And it was just a really big speed bump. There's pictures. My mom has a picture.
I love that when kids fight and the mom
They're
is just like, let's
pause,
just take a picture.
Click. Okay, keep going.
Because they think, I honestly think parents should let their kids fight.
Oh, it was
a little bit.
Yeah.
Don't like hurt each other. Don't break anything. But like tussle. Make them tough.
Oh yeah. Me and my sister wrestle all the time. And now she's always been small. She's always been a little baby because she was prematurely born. She was 9.5 weeks premature.
Ooh.
So she'd always been little. And just recently, she got big. She just had a growth spurt and is my height, just a little bit shorter than me, my weight, and can pick me up and throw me down. So now I'm scared of her.
Yeah.
Okay? I used to like just tackle her and pin her down and she'd giggle and it was fun, and now she can just pick me up and throw me with force into a wall and it hurts.
Oh my god. Your sister can stick you up.
Yeah. So she's like, Haylee doesn't mess with me anymore. I was like, it was for fun. You're trying to cause harm. Okay?
You're trying to kill me.
I don't want it. I just,
Doggo.
My dad just sent me that.
Your dad just sent you a picture of your dog. He looks so happy.
His name is Max. He is the laziest being.
Oh, I love a good lazy dog.
Yeah. That's all I'm gonna say.
That'd be a fun job, a retirement home for dogs. Oh.
It would be until they, like...
I know. But I feel like you can take pride in that, where it's like you gave
Oh.
them an ease in life up to the end.
Yeah.
Wouldn't that be fun? Like, you get them little, like, carts. You can wheel them into the common area every afternoon so they can, like, pinochle together.
And instead of like dogs playing chess, it's dogs playing bingo.
Oh. 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 There's, like, a Pomeranian calling numbers.
Yeah.
Oh. There's a big Mastiff who has to check your cards because you don't mess with a Mastiff.
No. Have you ever played bingo?
Oh, yeah.
Have you ever played bingo with your grandmother?
Yeah.
Me too.
It's not a
Don't screw
casual
with her.
activity.
No.
She's got 15 cards.
She's got 15
She's
cards.
got a dauber in each hand, like 4 somehow, and she's ready.
Like, I thought this was gonna be a fun time with
Yeah.
my mom and my grandma, and I'm just like trying to talk to her, and she's like, "Not now, Haley," and it's like hitting all the numbers.
Is it church bingo?
No, it's not.
Is it?
It's. I don't even know where it's at anymore.
I do.
They don't do it.
I do
where we
Legion
went.
bingo with my parents and my family and all
Yeah.
of our friends. I like
Yeah.
Legion bingo because it's not that serious. And usually that's not where older people go. They go to church bingo or community bingo. They don't mess around with Legion bingo because Legion bingo is casual.
Yeah.
It's barkeeps and drunkies. Everyone's having a good time. If you miss call, it's fine. No one cares. We're just there for a good fun.
Oh yeah.
But church bingo and community bingo, that's
Scary.
yeah.
It's like.
And they've got all their like tchotchkes for luck.
Yeah.
They got their troll dolls.
My grandma has a picture of my little sister. She's the favorite. She is the
She has a
favorite.
picture of her.
She
for
has
luck.
a picture, like a literal picture frame.
Oh my god.
Sits it on the card table where she sits. That she has her cross. She has flowers, like plastic
God.
flowers, and then she has like, I don't know if it's like a tissue or just something crumpled up, always by her left hand when she's playing, and it's like,
Oh, it's probably for sweat.
you know,
So
it
that
could be.
she can have so she can get an action.
Sure.
How many cards does she usually play? A lot?
A lot.
Like more than 10, would you say? Or maybe 10? Around 10 to 15?
She, that's what her money goes to.
Yeah.
Like my mom and dad pay her to watch us,
Mm-hmm.
or used to. I don't know if they still do for.
And then went straight to bingo. Yeah.
It would be gone by Monday.
She do a dauber?
Oh yeah.
She have her own daubers?
Oh,
She doesn't use the one that they provide? She doesn't trust them?
yeah, she's like, I have my own. She'll have enough to give to like 3 other people.
Yeah.
She'll just be like, "Oh, do you need 2 here?
Oh, that's
Go ahead.
nice.
Go ahead.
She's a generous
Give
gambler.
it back."
Yeah.
If you don't.
I really got into scratch-offs when I turned 18.
Oh yeah.
I would spend easily $40 every time I went over.
Ooh.
But I would stop at 40 because I'm like, this
Right.
is ridiculous. And for my birthday, when I turned 18, because I'm an 80-year-old person, I knit, I watch the Golden Girls, and I
Oh,
go
yeah.
to bed early. And a teacher of mine gave me bingo daubers.
That's beautiful.
I haven't used them yet because I haven't gone bingoing.
Right.
Because bingo season back home is in the fall. Guess where I was during the fall? Here.
Yeah.
So I haven't been able to bingo.
Oh yeah, there's my mom actually is going, I think this weekend or next weekend, to a basket bingo.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah. Basket bingo.
It's like a basket
baby.
bingo, but like you can win baskets and like those Vera Bradley purses that are always being sold at bingo. It's like, what? All right. Well, they're ugly anyway.
Yeah.
So.
I love a
Sure.
good like silent auction for a
Yeah.
basket. Oh. Oh.
Yeah.
I love the satisfaction of winning and just going back and being like, $40, try $41.
It's like,
My school
try.
used to do silent auctions, and there was a minimum $1 increase, because there would be the old women going after the like the perfume basket.
Oh, yeah.
They're like $32.06,
Oh.
$32.07. They're like, no, we can't do that.
God.
We have to $1 minimum.
That's incredible.
Because there was a basket that had been bid on, I think, 200 times, and it
Oh.
was $2. Because it started at a cent, and then it went 2 cents, 3 cents, 4.
God.
Yeah, people weren't willing to.
Jeez.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Do you have a preferred sibling? Are you willing to say that on air?
I love them both equally.
Yeah.
I'm pulling the parents.
Yeah.
I love them both, but I don't know. Ashlyn's...
You can chill with her.
Yeah, but same with Gage.
Sure.
Like, now, Gage and I love each other.
Yeah.
It was like in high school, we were like, why did we hate each other? What was that?
Half of it's just getting away from each other.
Yeah. Like, since he now lives in our attic, we changed our attic space to a living space for him and his friend. So now they're being adults, but still living with my parents.
Yeah.
Now I can just, like, go up there and see him whenever. Like, I love him, but I don't like his music choice sometimes, and that's all he... And, he would just not care for anybody else's well-being and just start playing his Troye Sivan.
Oh.
And I like some of it, but I don't like all of it, and I don't want to hear all of it. If he ever hears this, he'll kill me. But
he needs to know.
He needs to know the truth. But
I told 50 strangers on the internet before I told you, but I'm glad that you found out. Speaking of 50 strangers, you have the most popular episode so far on the podcast because it's got the Disney tags in it.
Yay!
So it's tagged with Disney, Disney World, Snow White, Cinderella, all that business. So like everyone else has like 6 or 7 plays. You got 50 some.
Hey, well that makes me happy. That's nice.
I get the feeling a lot of people listen to about 12 seconds of it.
Oh, probably.
And they're like, ew.
They're like, oh, well, this is not what I meant to put on. Goes back.
Did you ever drive cross country in a car with your siblings?
No.
Because I did.
We have only ever been to Ohio together
good.
as a
Honestly,
family.
that's good. Long distance travel is not fun with a sibling.
Yeah. I mean, we went from, like, here, or home to Pennsylvania just for me to go off to school, but, like, that's about it.
My sister and I have somehow survived a trip to Oregon from Minnesota.
Ooh.
And it was me, my sister, my mom, my dad, and my grandma all in the car. And somehow none of us killed each other.
Wow.
And then my sister, myself, my parents, and her, at the time, boyfriend went to Missouri together. Or as I like to call it, Misery. Because it was miserable. Hi, Missouri. I didn't like it. It's not fun. I don't suggest it by any means.
No.
Fly, for God's sake.
I've never
fly.
been in a plane. I have never been in an airplane.
It's fun.
In my whole 19 years.
It's worth it. It's expensive.
Yeah.
Driving is my preferred method simply because you're in control the whole time.
Right.
You're not going to not get somewhere because someone didn't feel like flying the plane.
Right. I think, because my brother does online college and it's out of Florida, and I think when he graduates, I think we are going to go down there. I mean, he wants to graduate with them.
Yeah.
So I don't know if we're going to drive down there, if we're going to fly down there, so I kind of hope that we fly,
Kinda
because
count
I
on flying.
want to be, I've always wanted to try and fly, but I don't know how it's going to go.
Yeah.
If I get a window seat, that'd be pretty cool.
I like a window.
Yeah.
But nowadays I like the aisle. Because I've flown so much, so like watching it isn't as big of a deal. The first time I wanted a window.
Right.
Got an aisle. Now I want the aisle seat, but I get the window. It's how it always happens. I want the aisle because if I even get the middle seat, I refuse to get out. Because I don't want to be the person that has to be like, hey, can you get up?
Right.
And it's not that I don't mind doing that when I'm in the aisle seat, but I'm terrified to do it when I'm in the middle or the window. And so I don't drink anything when I get on a plane. I still have to pee. I will still have to. And luckily it's a 2-hour flight. I can get through it.
Yeah.
Oh, it's not fun. Because the whole time you're thinking, do they know?
Yeah.
I feel like they can read my body language. They know. They have telepathy.
Yeah.
Do you ever just will someone to do something? You're like, hey, get up. But you only say it in your brain.
It's
Like, get up, let me go to the bathroom.
If you could just, like...
And all I have to say is, hey, I'm sorry, I need to go to the bathroom, excuse me. That's all I have to say.
That's all, but, like, in your mind, it's like, what if they say no?
One time I was on a plane. I took a flight from Philadelphia to Pittsburgh. It was a 10-minute flight.
What?
They didn't even finish refreshments by the time we had landed.
Wow.
They gave someone a drink as they were leaving. It was so dumb. And it was water. I'm like, you can't get a water in the airport. You really have to take... Oh, it's stupid.
Wow.
It was a weird flight. It was a good day. Siblings.
Siblings.
Anything you care to say while I think of a question? Oh, have you and your siblings ever, like, done some espionage together? Secret missions or anything? My sister and I once said we would go for a walk. And we walked 4 miles to a Dairy Queen to get blizzards. And we walked back, and they're like, wow, you're on a long walk. And you're like, yeah, I had a shower.
Yeah.
And my sister, 2 weeks later, said, yeah, don't tell Mom we went to Dairy Queen. I'm like, I thought she knew. She's like, no, I didn't tell her.
No.
So I was in a unknown to me secret mission to get to Dairy Queen.
I mean, we did that literally the night before I left to come back here this week for school.
Yeah.
It was like 2 a.m. when I got back, but It was like, midnight, and my brother and his roommate were like, hey, do you want to go to IHOP? And I was working on my animatronic for class,
sculpture, knowing
that I'm leaving the next day. I should probably have the majority of this done. And I was like, yeah, I'll go to IHOP. Who cares about finishing this thing? I do. But I was like, let me go put on my shoes. Let me go tell Dad, who's asleep. Okay? He's asleep. Dead asleep. So is Mom. Mom has earplugs in. She can't hear you. Mm-hmm. Dad has one of those sleep...
sleep apnea.
Masks on.
CPAP.
So he was not waking up. I was like, Dad! I'm like nudging him. He didn't move. And I was like, if he's not waking up now, I don't think he's going to wake up in the next couple hours. So if I just go, it'll be fine. Yeah. But my dad is one to wake up in the middle of the night, check on his kids when they're sleeping, go back to bed. And I told him that I'd be working kind of late. So I was out in the den and had all the lights on, which is down the hall to his room and Mom's room, so he could see if the lights were on. So I was like, okay, if I shut all of the lights off, maybe he thinks I'm asleep in bed. I'll just go try and speed them up so it's like not really bad. And then it was like 2, and I was like, I need to go to bed. I need Dad to not know that I was out without his permission. And the whole time, Gage and Sean were like, I mean, you're an adult. You don't have to tell him. And I was like, but I do.
Try telling that to Dad.
I was like, but I do. You know, you technically don't live with him anymore. So you don't have to tell him. But when I'm not at school, I am living at home. Mm-hmm. Therefore, they need to know. Yeah. But, so we went out, had a plate of bacon, because I really wasn't hungry. I just wanted to do something.
A whole plate of bacon?
Well, it was like a side. There was like 3 pieces of bacon. My total was $3 or something. But that was about it. I don't do secretive things.
I snuck out of the house once with a friend and I left a note that said, I'll probably be back at midnight, and then I crossed that out. So in the middle of the night, my dad had to drive around town looking for me and my friend, and he pulled up, and my friend said, hey, like trying to play it off, and my dad just said, get in the car. Oh. He took us home, and he just didn't talk about it.
Oh, God,
that's almost worse. It's like, I'd rather you yell at me and get it over with, rather than like have me wait in terror of what is going to be unleashed.
That's my dad. Oh. And it's like, I don't do things. I don't do bad things.
Exactly.
So, like, the slightest thing.
Yeah.
Like, if I say I failed a test in high school, I would not hear about it until I'm like, man, I'm kind of tired. And then he's like, well, maybe if you weren't up all night on your stupid phone, maybe you wouldn't be failing tests. And then I'm like, how did you know? I'm so sorry. I'll do better.
Thought I hit it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Parents know. They always figure it out.
That's something that parents are able to do. They know everything.
But it's okay.
It works out well most of the
Yeah.
time.
Yeah.
Well, we're at the halfway point now, and you still have you haven't leaked any brainal fluid, so I think
I haven't like had a nosebleed or any kind of crazy thing going on. That's good. Sorry.
No, you're good.
Stretch it.
Did you ever get the whole like getting called your sibling's name in school or anything?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
My brother's the smart boy, and
Oh yeah.
so it was, oh, you're Gage's sister. And I was like, God, yeah, I am. My name's Haylee, not Gage's sister.
Yeah.
And then, since I played sports, everybody called me Moss. So it's Mossberger.
Yeah.
So it was Moss, because that's what they called my dad, and that's what they called my granddad, and it was just a thing. They called my brother Moss when he played football, and so everybody called me Moss. And then after I graduated, they went to my sister, who is next year going to be a freshman. And so they're like, so are you Moss's sister? And I'm like, her name's Ashlyn, guys. Just stop.
Yeah.
Like, Gage is a brainiac and Ashlyn's a brainiac. And I was like, I'm going to art school. Hey!
my sister graduated a semester early, and I went to art school.
Yeah. It's funny though, because Gage is in an art school too.
Yeah.
Now, he goes to the one in Florida. I can't remember what it's called, but Full Sail.
Yeah.
That's the one. And Ashlyn doesn't even want to go to college, and I'm like,
I didn't either. I didn't plan on surviving high school. Like, I just assumed at some point God was just going to take me out.
Oh, God.
I just figured, because it's like, I didn't think I had a reason to live.
Oh, no.
So I just figured God would send a semi my way. We lived next to a
It'd
silo.
just be like Pet Cemetery.
A co-op, so yeah.
Just
Mean Girls.
I like Pet Cemetery better.
It was Mean Girls Day last week.
I
2
wore
weeks
pink.
ago. I was going to, but it didn't match my ensemble.
Yeah, I wore
I
pink.
had all blue on, so I had to wear pink. I couldn't wear pink.
Yeah.
Oh, I just got a notification from Domino's.
Ooh.
I
have a question for you. Did your parents name you like something? Like, was there a reason why they named you?
Just my middle name.
Oh.
It's my great-grandfather's name, I think.
What about your sister?
Middle name.
Middle name?
They just picked whatever. My mom picked the names because my dad was like, I don't know. It's too stressful. You pick.
Oh. See, yeah. They were like, Pet Cemetery. I'm bringing it back. But Gage is the little boy's name in Pet Cemetery. The one that died. Okay? My parents were like, that's going to be my firstborn. So my brother Gage is named after
the kid that dies in Pet Cemetery.
The kid that died in Pet Cemetery. And then Ashlyn was named after a video game character in Ratchet and Clank.
Wow.
And then they were like, Haylee. That one's, yeah.
Hey, at least y'all have normal names.
Yeah.
I don't like, I shouldn't say this. McKinley.
That's stupid.
Brynliana.
What?
I want her to have a special name. No, your kid's not special. None of us are. We're all just sacks of meats and muscles and connective tissue, and we're all just trying to get to the end. What about, like, Jonathan, James,
Jacob,
Jingle Hammerschmidt? Like, whatever happened to normal names? No, now we're combining them. McKinley, Brynliana.
They, like, middle names were kind of the same. Kind of. Not really. My brother's middle name is my dad's middle name. And then my middle name is what my mom wanted to originally name me. But then my dad said, we don't want any boy nicknames. Because I was going to be named Nicole. And they didn't want Nikki or Nick as a nickname. Same with Sammy. I was going to be named Sammy.
But
they didn't want a Sam.
Wow. Huh.
And then Ashlyn, her middle name is just my grandma's middle name. Ashlyn Joy. Duh.
Huh.
Yeah.
I've never heard of someone middle name same as another person's middle name. I've heard middle name is someone else's first name. That's fun.
Yeah. Yep.
My cousins, my aunt had a boy and a girl, and she named them after her parents, middle name wise. What I don't like is when families, all the kids have the same middle name. So it's like all the girls in the family have the same middle name. I don't like that.
I don't like that.
That means they're like the same name. I don't like it.
Yeah.
Like when someone names their kid Catherine and like Caitlin, they're two the same. I don't like it. That's like if my parents had a son and named him Brandon, so they have a Brandon and a Brendan. I don't like it. I don't like goblins.
I don't even like that with twins. Like,
this is Caitlin with an I and Caitlin with an A.
They're already hard enough to friggin'...
I don't like people who dress their twins the same way.
Yeah, no. Like, if I will, like, dress them in the most opposite outfits so I can tell which one. This is
Daniel. He wears blues and yellows. This is John. He wears greens and reds.
Yes.
Like, they're different. I color-coded my children.
Yeah, but then as soon as they're old enough to dress themselves, if they dress the same...
It's on them.
It's
my
on
parents...
them. And if I say the wrong name, it's not on me.
My parents are soulmates because they are telepathically connected because they dress the same almost daily. My dad will wear a blue t-shirt, my mom will wear a blue sweater, and they'll both have khakis on. And my mom will just look at him and be like, I'll go change. And then she just goes and changes. Because it's not that she doesn't want to match, she knows that he doesn't, but he won't pick up on it.
Oh.
So she's like, I'll go change.
All right.
I caught them both wearing red once, and I'm like...
Did you do that on purpose?
I just looked at him back and forth, and my mom was like, God damn it! And then she just walked into her room to change.
That's awesome.
I think it was I don't know what it was. Oh, it was my graduation. They were giving me presents. I opened up the present. It was luggage. Mm-hmm. So I'm like, oh, cool. Move out? Like, trying to tell me something? And they're like, oh, we gotta go. And I'm like, you're both wearing a red shirt. And she just stormed out of the room. My grandma did it once. She called them out too. We were staying at my grandma's place, and she's like, I just love how you two dress the same. And they're like, what? She's like, for the past couple days you've been wearing the same color shirt. And they're like, who didn't tell us?
Who allowed this to
I just
happen?
love it. I think it's fun. They just can't stand it.
Do your parents match for Halloween? Like, do they dress up for Halloween?
My parents don't dress up for Halloween.
Okay.
They're teachers, and my dad does his best to discourage Halloween overall.
Oh.
He loves handing out the candy. He just wishes that Halloween would start at the end of the school day.
Yeah.
Because he just gets kind of annoyed with, like, kids talking about their costumes and, like, candy, and they're, like, not focusing. My mom now teaches elementary school. She's been teaching junior high, which it's not as big of a deal in junior high. It's more just people... Once you hit, like, 8th grade, you just start talking about hocus pocus instead of, like, trick-or-treating.
Yeah.
So she's been fine. I think she's grown a little bit of a distaste for Halloween as of late, as she became an elementary school teacher. But my dad puts a fire on, and he hands out candy from the fireplace, which is fun.
That's nice.
Yeah.
My mom, just for some reason, it feels recently like she just wants to dress up for Halloween now.
That's fun. Like,
I think it was last year, she found a whoopee cushion sweatshirt. Yep, she wore this...
That's amazing.
Whoopee cushion sweatshirt that had the whole...
Yeah.
Whoopee... And then the hood was actually just the top. So
that's amazing.
It was just a hole for her face, and then went straight up, and it was open on top. So that's what she had last Halloween. But this Halloween, she wants to dress up with my dad. My dad is not for it. So she's like, if I find a good enough costume, will you please match with me? And he's like, if you find a good enough one, we will see. So she found, you know that song, the Peter, Peter, Pumpkin Eater?
Yeah. She
found a pumpkin t-shirt. So she was wearing a pumpkin, and she literally, it's just a gray t-shirt with Peter, Peter on it. and made it for my dad. And she goes, ta-da! And he's like, oh my god. So I don't know if that's they're gonna dress up for Halloween.
She should get another t-shirt that says Johnny Johnny and then just another shirt that says sugar.
No. They don't know what that is.
No, that'd be great. I'd love for you to send a link of that to your parents.
Yeah.
Halloween idea?
Oh my god. That would be so scary.
Halloween.
No, it's not.
Do you have a Halloween idea? Costume idea?
Not at all.
I do, but I have to sew it if I do it, and it's 3 weeks away.
If I do, which
it.
now that you say it's 3 weeks away, there's nothing I can.
I made my costume last week 2 weeks beforehand, and it was great.
Well, like the only thing I could think of is the side project I'm doing outside of school is I'm gonna turn myself into the Grinch. So maybe I could be the Grinch for Halloween and for Christmas.
Yeah.
If I can figure it out in time.
Yeah.
That or I'll just go as like a Who.
A Who.
I'll just be a Who again. I don't care. Just make another nose. Do it.
You can do that in wax. You don't really have to make a whole prosthetic.
I know, but wax will just like totally not work at all. You can move with the prosthetic. That you're just like, eh.
You can just attach something to the tip.
That's not fun though.
See if you can do something with that like stuff that like shrinks. Like scar stuff.
Scar stuff?
Yeah. Just like completely obliterate your nose up.
Oh god.
It would hurt. Oh.
I don't want it.
I hated that stuff. Anyway. Did you share clothes with your siblings, or were your clothes handed down to like your sister or anything?
Yes, because my sister hates shopping and just doesn't like wearing new clothes.
Mm-hmm.
But I would honestly steal my brother's stuff because it's comfortable compared. Yeah, but now. No, not really.
I know Halloween. When my sister was 3, she was an M&M. 3 years later, I was an M&M. When she was 4, she was a train conductor. When I was 4, I was a train conductor. My parents only had to buy 7 costumes throughout our entire lives because we just would share them.
That's amazing.
I know there was a pumpkin onesie from age 1 to 3 that fit because it was just so big when we were little. But then as we grew older, it would fit. But it was just an orange onesie that had a pumpkin face cut out on it.
Aww.
And they just slap us into it every year. So when my sister turned 4, she got a real costume, and then the onesie went to me.
Aww.
So that lasted 6 years, and then the M&M, the train conductor costume, and then she started taking dance classes just for kicks or whatever, and she would just wear those.
Yeah. And
then I started, I always just had an excuse to wear all black. I was a thief one year. I was a bat.
That's great.
I'm very embarrassed of those costumes. So I make up for it with much better ones now.
That's good. I remember when I was like, 4, 5? I was a Care Bear.
Ooh.
I was the blue one. I don't remember what one that is, but
I don't know.
I don't remember, but it was great. And then the next year, I was Donatello, the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle. And then the next year, I was the Hulk. I had the best, the best Halloween costumes.
That's good.
And then one year, my little sister wanted to be Tinkerbell, and my brother wanted to be like the Grim Reaper. And I was like, I have no idea what I want to do. So I just took one of my dad's flannels, which he really likes, cut it up, and bought a werewolf mask. And I just went around like that at like the age of 9 or 10. I was like, I'm cool. And my dad's like, what did you do to my shirt? What did you do? I was I'm sorry.
I bought a shirt once at Goodwill to cut it up. And it was like a $4 suit shirt. And my dad saw me cutting it up. He's like, are you supposed to be doing that? And my mom was in the room, and she's like, do you think I would just let him cut up a suit? I'm standing right here.
Oh my god. That's beautiful.
It really was, because like it was the last cut on it. I'm like, I think I'm done. He's like, Are you supposed to be cutting that? It's like, why did you wait till I was done to question my motive in this? Also, it's not yours.
It's not yours.
So why are you worried about it? I just stole someone's suit. And I'm like, let's cut it up. Let's have a good time.
Perfect. It's so very quiet.
I've run out of questions. I'll think of some. I'm trying to think of like, I'm trying to see how to phrase these questions. Television siblings. Did you ever relate to that? Because it's a clearly fictitious like representation of sibling, but it's so much like something that sticks out in my brain. Sweet Life of Zack and Cody. They would have physically fought each other so much more often than they did.
Oh yeah.
Especially in the antics they got into.
Oh yeah.
Like,
Yeah. I think the most realistic one for me was Home Improvement.
Yes.
It's all those boys, except one boy and two girls.
Mm-hmm.
Just as rough and as violent.
Malcolm in the Middle.
Ooh, Malcolm in the Middle.
Pretty solid
so
representation. Because
yes.
they genuinely fought each other.
Malcolm.
And they like beat the crap out of each other. Like that's a real
yes.
sibling relationship. And of course, like I don't think they really want to endorse violence among siblings on television.
No.
But it's what happens.
It's a given.
Yeah.
Like, you can't not have a sibling and not want to punch him in the face at least once.
Did you ever what was the film? It was a he was on SNL. He's really funny. He was in Step Brothers. Will
Ferrell?
Will Ferrell. He was in that movie where he played his son's soccer coach against
Kicking
his
and
dad.
Screaming.
Kicking and Screaming. That film, his uncle was like 40 years younger.
Yeah.
Because his dad had a kid after he... Oh.
That's the weirdest.
That's an incredible... And that happens. I have a friend whose aunt
so...
is technically like 7 and he's like 29.
That is the weirdest thing. Like that... that'd be weird to be like... be born and you're automatically an aunt. Like, how does that make any kind of sense?
It's weird.
Yeah.
Or no, he was Will Ferrell's son was his brother's nephew. Because his dad had a kid, so that was his brother, and it was his son, and they were the same age, and it was his uncle. Ugh.
That's...
I would just lie to them. You're cousins.
Yeah,
I don't want you calling him your uncle or your nephew. That's weird. You're both 7.
Yeah, no, I wouldn't. No.
That kid went on to be, he was in that movie with Dwayne The Rock Johnson, Journey to the Center of the Earth.
Oh,
he was also in Zathura.
Josh?
Yeah, he was also in Hutcherson.
Hunger Games.
Yeah, Hunger Games. He was in that.
How do you say his last name?
Hutcherson. Yeah.
I said it wrong.
It's okay. Just like Shark Boy went on to be the guy in Twilight.
We don't talk about that. We don't talk about either of those, okay?
Shark Boy and Lava Girl was a terrific film.
Yeah, George Lopez was great. And also the girl from Pretty Little Liars is in it too?
No, she's not in it.
No?
She never.
The George Lopez's daughter in the movie?
Oh, George Lopez's I thought you meant Lava Girl.
No.
Lava Girl never went on to do anything
she
ever
didn't
again.
Do anything, yeah.
Who am I thinking of?
Who was the main character? What has
Max.
he done?
I don't think he's done anything.
He was just like, yeah.
I want to say he was in Shorts, but I don't think he was in Shorts.
I remember that movie.
That was a weird
Oh
movie.
my god.
Male stuffing.
Oh my god. Ew.
I would like to demonstrate. What teacher on the planet would just let a girl shove a boy into a trash can? Whether or not it's for demonstrate. Anyway.
Yeah, I don't know. At all.
More people moved in my apartment.
Oh, yeah.
And now there's more noises. And these people actually do their laundry, and it makes me very unhappy. Because the washer is right outside my door. If you open that door, you see the washing machine, and it's just like, no. I think there's also another washing machine in the building that I didn't know about previously.
That's
Because I think I'm in C, apartment B, which is downstairs, has not been lived in a few semesters. And I think with going in and out, like when they were moving in, the smell of an unused apartment just wafted through the entire building. It smelled terrible. It was like stale almost. Was the smell. It was not. It was like a stale apartment. And it's like, I don't like what's happening.
Ooh.
I don't like that. Did you ever, my sister and I switched beds a lot. For some reason, I let her have my queen size bed, and I took her twin. I don't know why I allowed that.
No, me and my brother had the exact same size bed. I still have a twin bed at home.
Mm-hmm.
And, so does my sister. We've all had the exact same kind of bed. But I remember when I was young, my parents would get sick and tired of me coming downstairs saying I had a nightmare, so they were like, go in Gage's room, which was right next to it. So I was like, Gage, I had a nightmare. And he's like, so? That is none of my business. So I would be like, I can't go back to sleep in my room. And he's like, sleep on the floor. So I would sleep on the floor of his room when we were little because I was scared of everything. And then Ashlyn now, even today, at the age of almost 14, will come into my room and move me over in my twin-sized bed and sleep with me.
It's payback. It's what you've deserved.
I don't deserve it. What are you talking about?
You did it to your parents and your brother.
Yeah,
Your
but
sister's got to do it too.
I was always like, yes, Ashlyn, you can totally stay in here for a little bit, but after a while, you need to go back to your room.
Out.
And she's like, okay. And then I'd wake up and she's on top of me. It's like, good morning. But, yeah.
Yeah.
I couldn't go, like, to my mom. You know how, like, if you had a nightmare, you'd always go to one parent?
Yeah, always my mom.
Never my mom. She punched me.
Same.
I woke her up one time. She was sleeping on a couch. Just sleeping. And I was like, Mom, hey, it's time to go to sleep. And she woke up and punched me in the face. Didn't need to. Felt bad. But she was like, that's why you don't wake me up. So never have I ever gone to wake her up ever again. I only ever go and wake up my dad.
Yeah.
And even, I remember Dad always talking about it. My brother, whenever he had nightmares, he would not say a single word. He would poke my dad and just stand there. And if he didn't move or didn't wake up, he would get really close to his face. And he'd just stare. And then, you know, the feeling of being watched. So Dad's like, opens an eye and sees the little boy's face right here. And he's like, ah!
I'm laughing so much because that's the exact same thing I would do to my mother. And my mom, to this day, holds resentment at me for scaring the living crap out of her so often.
Yeah.
Because I really like blankets, so I'd get hot, and getting warm makes me have a nightmare.
Yeah.
So I'd constantly be in my mom's room, and I'd do the exact same thing. I would, like, shake her a little bit, and then she wouldn't wake up, and then I'd get so close, and then she would just bounce.
Yeah.
And, like, just...
She would...
Oh. I'm surprised she has never hit me while I'm sleeping.
Oh, yeah. No.
Like, that she never accidentally punched me or anything.
Like, if I had a nightmare, I would kind of do the same thing, but I would, like, poke him in the arm, like, every couple of seconds, and I'm like, hey, I need you. And then he wouldn't move, and then I'd be like, well, I guess I'm gonna go back upstairs with the monsters. Okay, bye.
Isn't that such an interesting thing of, like, why do we want to tell our parents that we have a nightmare? Because there's nothing they can do.
Well, you can sleep in between them, and then they're like, monsters aren't gonna get your parents. They're gonna get you.
That was never so, like, I would always just tell my mom, I had a nightmare. She'd be like, do you want to stay here? I'm like, no, I just wanted you to know. And then I'd leave.
Oh, yeah, my dad would always be like, if I actually woke him up, he'd be like, did you have a nightmare? And I said, yeah. And he's like, what about? And I was like, I don't want to talk about it. So we wouldn't talk about it. And then I'd fall asleep. And then we'd wake up. And he'd be like, so what was your nightmare about? And I was like, I don't want to say.
I don't want to tell you.
I don't want to tell you.
I don't like it.
And he's like,
Oh, a needle.
What the hell?
I was sewing earlier. There's a needle on the floor.
Ooh, danger.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
I need to pick better topics.
I'm surprised we've been running with the siblings topic.
We've hit a
this
solid
long.
52 minutes.
Like, honestly, I didn't think I could talk about him for that long.
No.
Like, I love him and I hate him, and that's about it. But I mostly love them.
Yeah.
If I ever show them this podcast.
I really like my sister because if she ever questions if I actually care about her, which she will because that's what she does, I will point out incessantly, I skipped school to be at your stupid wedding that you could have waited 2 weeks to have.
Yeah. I've realized I'm slightly, I guess, protective of my siblings.
Mm-hmm.
Don't know why. I have no idea why. They never did anything for me. But,
I don't have to anymore because my sister married a guy who is taller, stronger, and just overall better than me. She married a guy who's going to inherit a business, a farm, and a house.
She's set. That's great.
She doesn't need me anymore.
But, like, my brother, his friends are all wonderful people, but, like, sometimes they'll joke around, and he'll think it's funny, and then I will not think it's funny, and I'll be like, stop. Don't even. That's my brother. I can say those things, not you. And then he's like, Haley, shut up. And then, like, my sister had an issue with this girl at school, and I was willing to drive home from here and beat up a 12-year-old. And I was totally okay with doing it. And then my dad's like, you've never hit anybody. You can't do that. It's like, watch me. Yeah, that's all.
I would always, people get in fights with their parents, screaming matches. It happens.
Yeah.
If that ever happened with my sister, I would always, with my sister, my dad, I would always step in and scream at my dad for my sister, because my sister always felt bad about it. I'm just like, I'll do it. And then I would fight her side of the issue for her. Because I'm just like, I know she doesn't like to do this, and I kind of like it, so I'm going to do it.
Yeah.
I like yelling at people. I like to be right. And if I feel right about something, I'll defend it to no end.
Right.
So, I think we've hit a good length.
I think so, too.
We also have nothing more to say on this
Not
topic,
really.
So, thank you for coming. All your info's in the description. Same as last time.
Yes.
Nothing's changed.
Nope.
There's more content.
Yes.
So that's changed, but the information has not. Check in the description. I'll talk to you in a few seconds. Get you out of here. Thank you for being on.
Thank you so much for having me.
Bye.
Bye.
Thank you so much for listening to Headphones Suggested. You can find my guest's social media down in the description. You can follow me on Twitter at headphones.s, and you can email me at headphonesuggested@gmail.com. If you enjoyed the art for this podcast, you can find the artist on Instagram at OrkyArt and other socials, which are down in the description. And thank you so much for listening.
I also ran over my brother with one of those Barbie Jeeps.